action.
Oh, okay. Hey, guys.
Take two.
Hey, take two. Okay.
So that's basically what happened yesterday. We had a major technical difficulty after recording a brilliant
Podcast.
I know, it was such a good one.
A great.
I was so sad about it.
It was.
Yeah,
very sad.
so
I don't even remember what we talked about.
This is take two.
That's when they're usually the best. When you leave and you're like, what did I say?
You're just like Will Ferrell, still holding. Blacked out. Blacked out during that podcast.
So yeah, so this is take two.
Take two. We're in Montana. We have been here for the 4th of July with all of our friends, boating, working out, jumping Porsches over Raptors.
Yup.
That sounds really exciting.
Yep.
And it's like start to finish, you know, they did it. Brought out the big cat, created a single track and a big old dirt jump.
Yeah.
And there were no disasters.
And helicopters.
So I was happy.
And helicopter
We
ride.
had a helicopter ride.
Have you been in one before?
That was my
About that.
first time.
Oh, dude, they're
it
so
was
rad, right?
incredible.
It blew me away the first time we did it because, like, what do you mean? We just get to leave in the sky like a fucking flying car? Because that's what that is.
Yeah.
I thought
Full
there'd be
freedom.
like more regulations
You know
or a person you'd have to like, we can leave in the sky. There's not people. I,
I
need
love
to
the
know
way
that.
Matt's brain works because like I'd be like, yeah, it was really cool. I was flying.
Oh,
and he's
I'm
like,
blown
it's like so much
fucking
deeper. I
flying
love
car.
it. I know, I love it.
No,
Every
I
time you
said
say
that,
something, I'm like, yeah, that's exactly what it's like.
The last time Rob and I, when we flew and met you guys in Escalante, like, it's weird that we didn't have to ask permission, right?
Yeah, no, that blows me away.
We didn't have to like sign anything like, hey guys, just so you know, can we leave? No, we just got in the plane,
left.
mapped out our little route, and flew to you.
Yeah.
It blows my mind that
That's
we're
so
allowed to
crazy.
do that.
No, it's crazy. to
So
me, too.
crazy.
Yeah, sure, you can go up in the sky.
Yeah.
What?
I'm like in the front of the helicopter, and all I kept thinking, among so many other things, because I was having the time of my life, was, fuck, this is freedom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This feels like freedom.
Yep.
Holy shit.
Have you ever seen the dudes like I know Breitling put it together, but it's like a wingsuit, but it's jet powered.
No.
So like they'll gain altitude.
Oh.
Right? So this dude's flying. I'm sure the fuel pack's not very big, right? But like I figure once you had the ability that you could do that, like you had a fucking jetpack,
Yeah.
would you just be not interested in anything else at any other point in your
No.
day? You're like, when are we going flying?
Yeah, when are we going to fly?
Just on to work.
No, I
Fly
don't
out
want
the door,
lunch.
just right over the
I
traffic.
wanna
Why
go
am I
fly in my
walking?
fucking
Yeah, why would
wingsuit.
Why would I walk?
Where do you want me to meet you?
Be there.
No, I won't
in
pick
10
you up because I'm
seconds.
going to fly there.
Like a flying
I know, it's
squirrel.
pretty nuts.
Like flying squirrel.
I just picture like me flying, but I've got like you on my back.
Just holding on for dear life.
Do you picture her riding
I mean,
you like Falcor from Neverending
you
Story?
Would never, no, you would never. Brooke would never fly with me because I'm the worst.
She'd pull my hair
I'm
out.
the worst backseat driver.
She
Can you
is.
imagine me on your back while you're flying?
Oh my God.
I'm literally like, oh, slow down. Oh.
Like,
You're
I'm
not
like,
even
Gina,
good
I've
on a
driven
road.
before.
Yeah.
I'm
Like
okay.
I get Escalante.
Yes, I
We
know.
were
Like,
on the
It's a sketchy road.
Yep.
the devil's backbone.
the devil's
Yeah.
backbone.
It's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
And
though.
it's like, slow down. Oh my God, don't get so close. And I'm like, I kept being like, Jeanna, I'm not going to kill you. I need you to be less of yourself.
Because if
Because-
I kill you, I
And
kill
know-
myself.
I said, your personality is showing too much.
It's so true, though. I mean, I can
She's a
hear
6.
myself talking, and I'm like, I'm so fucking annoying.
what
Shut up, Gina.
what percentage of your panic has been right?
Hardly any of
Zero.
it.
Okay, great.
Hardly
I like
any
that you
of it.
still trust it. You're like, I think this is not right.
No, I'm 100% aware that it is ridiculous, but I just can't help myself. It's like an impulse. But I will say this. There have been times where, like, with my ex and I was such a bad backseat driver. I've been in a car accident before, so I was like extra like, oh my God, everybody's out to get me. And so there was one time that I saw a car backing up and he wasn't looking, and I didn't say anything because I was like, he gets so mad at me, I'm not going to say anything. And I'm
one
not,
time.
it was boom, right into it. And I was like, should have said something. So you know what?
That
You
was
never
the
know.
time you're
That was the one
supposed to.
time. I know, but
You know,
I
the-
do it so often. It's like the boy who cries wolf, right?
You know,
I mean,
Yeah.
kind of like that.
Are you the person that, like, as soon as you see red lights, you just, like, grab the side the
Yes.
whole time? Ugh.
I know.
You just
I'm
mom
so annoying.
seatbelt arm.
I know. You guys don't want to hang out with me anymore?
And you're, like, pressing on the gate, on the brake.
Yes,
Your
on my own brake. Yes. That is me. Yep. I can't.
You're like,
Incredible.
It's okay.
Yeah.
like pushing back, pushing braking so hard. You're
I just
sliding
constantly
up your seat.
Or like, I do this. I do this with you all the time. On the
Yeah.
dashboard.
And I look,
That'll
she does.
save you.
And I look
As
at
if the
her.
seatbelt's not acceptable.
And I look at her and I'm like,
I got this.
I got it.
I got it.
So you're pretty good with like roller coasters.
Super
I
great.
figured.
Flying, all
How
of
was
it.
the helicopter for you?
I didn't go in this
No, but
one.
you went in the
But
other
I
one.
went in a helicopter, and I was saying before, I would have never done that. And in fact, when I told Brooke that I was going, she was
I was
like,
very, I don't even, I
"What?"
was maybe a little bit upset.
she was.
Jealous.
You
Yeah.
did it
No,
without
like,
Not
almost,
I know.
jealous,
no,
but like,
almost upset because like, I really enjoy getting the opportunity
to push me out of my comfort zone.
to get her to do things that if I wouldn't have, I don't think there's a lot of people, and this is probably me thinking I'm way cooler than I am. I don't think there's a lot of people aside from me that can get you to try
There aren't.
a lot of things. And so I love that. Like I can convince her. And I think between the two of us too, like when she's going through something, it's like, you're going to be okay.
Yeah.
We're going to do it and we're going to be just fine.
Everybody thinks it's like I'm the older one and I'm like the mom. It's the opposite.
I would imagine that role varies back and forth a
Oh
bit.
my God.
I mean, it does,
Oh
it
my
does.
God. In Escalante, when you were talking to Ruby on the phone, you get off the phone and Rob goes, I just really loved hearing you like
Be a
Be
mom.
be a mom.
Yeah.
Well, okay,
Don't
because
forget to wipe your shoes off before
Yeah.
you. Did you really, as you're slugging down
Yes.
a White Claw?
Slugging down the seventh White Claw of the
that's the
afternoon.
thing is like the night before here I've like fallen off my chair 3 times. I'm a fucking wreck. I'm just, I'm like being a party animal.
Yeah,
You're-
what do
And
we
then
have
I'm
to
like sitting there
time, dude.
telling my daughter like, make sure you do this and this and this and this.
What-
And yeah, Rob like looks under and he goes, I love listening to Jeanna be a mom. So out of character.
Listen, you take care of stuff 100%.
Yeah, I mean I try.
And you have been a mom for a very long time. So it's like now, I mean, you're still a mom, but like not with little
Yeah.
kids at
No,
home.
I know.
Now you get to not be one.
I
And-
know.
And I can like take care of you. And
Yeah.
then if there's an opportunity where like Jeanna has to like take care of me, she does it.
Oh yeah.
100%.
Because, like, you were in full mom mode, like, in your 30s.
Oh no, I was a mom at 18.
Right. But, like,
Well,
by
yes.
30, like,
Yeah, by
fucking
30s.
full.
I was 30 years old, 31, with a baby and 3 10-year-olds.
I'm barely
At
capable
30.
of handling myself at 38. What the fuck?
I know, yeah, it's pretty crazy.
You have to just step into it, I guess. You got to lean in.
Well, I guess
Figure
there's
it
not
out.
a ton of other options. Drive the car
Yeah.
into the lake.
No, sometimes Ruby will like complain about something. It'll be her day off, and I'll say, Ruby, do your laundry or something. She goes, it's my day off. I'm like, dude, at your age,
From life?
I had 3 kids, worked full time, still was doing laundry, taking care of a household. You could fucking do your laundry. And she's like,
Take that, Ruby.
yeah, take that, Ruby.
Take that, Ruby.
Because, like, so far, my 30s have been way by far the bitchinest decade.
I would say 30s still were really great for me.
Okay, sweet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just
It
did more different family kid stuff.
Yeah, we were very, an active family. We did a lot together. So I really love, and that's why I always say I love going to Brooke's house, her parents'
Oh,
house
like
in
in
Utah.
St.
My parents, yeah.
Because it's like the energy in the house is a lot like my house was, and even my house growing up. So, it's tons of kids running everywhere. And even though there were times that was so stressful, sometimes you were like, fuck, I just want it to be quiet.
Yeah,
it's
a
like
lot.
once you don't have that anymore, you're like, oh my God.
Well, I bet the empty
What
nest
do I-
thing is fucking
oh,
wild.
it's big. Yeah. No, it is.
Because,
it's
like,
crazy.
your entire existence has revolved around
Yes.
keeping these 4 humans alive.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden they're like, see ya.
And you're like,
What about me? What about me?
I've,
so
now I've
weird.
adopted Brooke.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
I've adopted her.
Yes.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
And
Yes.
she's adopted me.
Yes.
You've birthed each
So-
other.
But yeah.
I definitely rebirthed her.
That's
You
what your
did
new
rebirth
logo
me.
should look like, is both of you just swimming into each other.
Me and like like a fetus.
Me holding you.
Just Brooke standing
Done
over
that.
you and you just in like a wet mess after birth.
God.
Sorry.
Like Danny DeVito and the
Yeah.
Yeah. When he's coming out of the back of the couch.
Oh, that's one of the best scenes in Always Sunny.
Or like Ace
He's all
Ventura.
like-
Dude,
Yeah.
he's so hot. The rhino scene in Ace
the
Ventura
rhino?
is
Coming
so
out of the
fucking
rhino.
funny. Man, That's got to be one of the funniest things
I know,
ever
I would-
captured on film.
When he gets the
There's
arm
no
out
way
too.
that people on
Yeah, he's
set
like-
aren't just dying.
But first, it's just the
When
finger.
it has his face and he's like teeth, and those kids are like, "Oh, beautiful, a rhino's being born."
First, he's like so hot, he like puts his finger out the butthole.
He's got the one arm.
Oh man, Jim
Face.
Carrey. Yeah,
Oh my God.
Legend.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow. That was an interesting segue.
that was.
It
So
usually
what were
is.
we gonna do today?
Oh,
Well-
Oh yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh no, I would like you to.
So I have a card game. And so occasionally with my podcast, we'll do this. You have a couple people in. It's just something to kick conversations off and see where it goes. It's always fun to shoot the shit. And so
Perfect.
this one is a bit more serious than the other cards that we've grabbed, but we'll see what we can figure out, and I'm sure we'll manage to talk our way through whatever.
Oh yeah, and if we pull one and we're like, I don't really
I
like
don't,
that.
I don't like that
Yeah.
one.
Well,
Even if
skip.
you read it and I don't like it, I'll be like, don't like it.
Oh, did you say what it was called?
Oh, the name of the game is Deep, and it's deep questions and thought-provoking conversations.
I know you said that. You're like deep questions, and my immediate thought was like cool, and I was like, ooh, scary.
Well, that's I was kind of halfway between.
I know. Well, the problem is I'm so shallow that anything deep is like, wait, that is.
I don't really like
Wait,
it.
yeah,
I don't
way
go
too
in the
much
deep end.
Out of my comfort zone.
All right, I'm gonna go first.
We're gonna do this.
All right.
So this is one. I'll read this first card, but it has two. It's like a two-part question.
Okay.
This is imagine this scenario.
All right.
You are taking the SATs when the proctor of the test has a coughing fit and leaves the room for 3 minutes to go get a drink of water.
I cheat instantly.
Okay. That's, yes, 100%. While the proctor is gone, some of your best friends,
Okay.
Yeah.
pointing to my girls, who are applying to the exact same colleges as you are, start exchanging answers with each other. They also start using their mobile phones to look up answers. Smart.
Yep.
You remind your friends that they are not, I would never do this. You remind your friends that they are not supposed to cheat, but they tell you to, but
Ain't
they,
my fucking business.
but
Yeah,
they,
exactly.
yes,
At
but
best.
they,
You don't want to cheat, fine.
but
Yeah,
they
yeah.
tell
Cheat all
you
they
to,
want.
they tell you to bug off.
Was this written in the
It's a
50s?
yeah.
Bug off, guys.
No other test taker indicates that they are bothered by the cheating, and no one says they're going to report it. Okay, question 1. Your friends may not be admitted to college if you report them. Do you report them? Yes or no?
No.
No.
Never.
If you report,
If you're not a
You're not
friend.
friends.
No, you're
No.
a fucking rat.
And if
No.
you truly have a problem with it, just save it for later.
Yeah.
Tell them
Talk to
after,
them
like,
later.
man, if you needed help studying, I just would have helped you.
Yeah.
I don't know. I still think part of like education is figuring out the system of how to get through it.
Yeah, don't hate the player, hate the
Figuring
game.
out. Okay, I had the best cheating method ever.
I want to
Dana,
hear
you're
this.
killing me right now.
Oh,
Write
yeah.
a book.
Okay,
How
okay.
to cheat
Mom,
well.
Dad, hopefully
Okay.
you're not listening.
The statute of limitations is up on this for
So
sure.
you remember those clear clicky pencils?
Yep.
Yeah, like just
Yeah.
the whatever those were called. So I used to type up my notes like
Really
in the
small?
smallest font possible because like it's hard to write really small. So you get the smallest font possible and then you print it out and you take out the insides and then you put your thing in and then you just have a row of pencils next to you. And you're like, oh man, this one's out of lead. Get the next pencil, and you're just like,
That's
Dude,
incredible.
that is
Twirl it around.
incredible.
Oh, there's the answer. I use math, like when you had to like memorize like all sorts of stuff. Oh my god, and dates for like history class and stuff. I can't remember anything, so it'd have like all the dates, like what happened.
I don't know why. I mean, I see math in some situations, but I don't know why that should matter if you could graduate or do well on a SAT.
Yeah, I don't know. But
Dates of things.
just so you know, guys,
Look,
kids,
our education
take notes.
system's really strange with the fact
Yeah.
that like we're
That's
not
brilliant,
that
by the way,
interested in
Dana.
education. We're interested in people passing tests so that it gets funding and we
Yes.
can say statistically X, Y, and Z.
Statistically, we have very smart kids here, and honestly, I think I'm more impressed by how
ingenuity.
creative
Yeah.
you were.
Yeah.
That tells me
Yeah.
more. It's like
I was a much lazier cheater
I was a way lazy cheater.
because you just pulled off a heist movie.
Yes, you did.
Yeah, you get the clear clicky
that's
pencils. You
brilliant.
open them up.
I just sat next to
insert-
someone way smarter than me.
No,
And would- and
because
would- and
the
would
smart
stretch a lot.
ones- No, no, there was always a girl.
Would stretch
Jen,
a
I
lot.
forget her last name, but Jen, like, she was the smartest one, aced everything, and like I sat next to her, and she would like put notebooks up
course she
around her.
would.
I was
Oh
like,
my god.
What's wrong with you?
How dare you?
Or if she'd like, if you just glance over, you're not even trying to cheat, and you just glance over, she'd be like
Oh
give
my
you this
gosh.
look of
Like she's in prison,
And she'd
just
say,
guarding her
"Fuck
meal.
off."
Yeah, fuck off.
off.
I definitely
rude.
remember like going to an algebra class and like in college and sitting next to a guy and like seeing a paper he'd got back and there's a D on it. And then like I looked over 2 rows and there's some girl with an A and I just moved. I like picked up all my shit and I'm like, I'm gonna go sit by her.
That's brilliant.
What's your name?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like looking at everyone's grades.
What kind of grades you got
Mac
here?
just keeps sitting in a different seat. Teacher's like, what's up, dude?
He's like, I couldn't really hear it from over there.
You want me to run one?
I'll do the second part.
Oh, the second part.
Second part.
I mean, we already really answered, but I'll read it anyways.
Okay.
Principle. Is it lying if you don't report the cheating to the proctor or the educational testing service? Doesn't matter if it is or it isn't. You gotta take
What,
care.
Did I get
gotta
pulled
take
up
care
in
of your
like
friends,
perjury?
man.
Yeah.
Yeah, is it
Like, is there a fucking
lying?
court case
I
that
mean,
I
you're
go
just
to?
not
Are you being
saying
asked
anything.
if your friend?
Yeah.
Oh, so
If-
you're being asked?
I guess.
If they ask.
So they got
yeah,
caught,
that's
and now
lying,
they're interviewing
but
Well,
you.
it's lying, but I'm
I
gonna
will
do it.
still lie for
Yeah,
you.
I'm
Like,
gonna
is
lie
it
for you
lying
guys.
if you don't report it? It's like a lie that you don't get caught in and you just sit with that. If
I
you
mean,
don't
yeah,
report
it's
it?
probably still
That's
a lie if
rat
they
shit.
asked you, but I'm gonna lie for my
I can
friends.
live with that lie.
I can fucking.
I can live with that
well
lie.
You know
that
what's
lie.
worse than not living with that lie? Going to college without your friends.
Exactly.
Also,
Come on.
the whole part, like that whole lineup of like they're applying to the same college
Yeah.
as you, as if there's such a scarcity fucking mindset of getting into school that like, but if they get in and I don't,
And I do.
were you applying to fucking Harvard?
I know.
Maybe.
Like that wasn't my
Yeah.
situation.
Right. Yeah.
Pretty sure they'll take your money still.
Yeah,
They
do.
really, especially nowadays, they want
What a
want your
weird-
money.
The education system's gnarly.
I know.
That cost, like that's one of those things that I feel so fortunate about that like both Bonnie and I have no school debt because we both were
Oh, yeah.
athletics. And like, fuck, man, I've got my best friend Dant and his chick both are physical therapists. Great, smart, doing well, but like, you know, they have $500,000 fucking dollars.
Well, that
in
yeah,
debt.
that's the crazy thing is like you get to a point where you can actually be successful and you're just paying off all the debt that got you there. That's
Yeah.
why I'm so happy that I'm not smart because I just never went to school.
I have no debt.
Yeah, I have no debt.
It's great.
I went to school.
Hey, if
didn't
you're out there,
graduate.
you shouldn't go to school. I'm just kidding. Worst advice ever. All right.
Not really.
Well, LeBron
I mean,
James didn't
yeah.
go to
I'm
college,
just saying
and
you don't
he's a
have
billionaire.
to. My
don't
dad was
have-
very successful. My grandfather,
I
you
think
know, didn't go to
nowadays
school.
nowadays you don't have to.
I mean, if you want to be like a doctor,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah,
Like, if
they're
you're
It
like-
depends on what you're gonna
Yeah,
do.
if you're like,
Depends
you know
on-
what? I don't know what I'm gonna communications major. It's like
Yep.
you could probably just find someone to let you intern or
Yeah.
be an apprentice and
Go
you crush it in communications.
Like if you had a kid
Straight
right now
to
that's
intern.
18 and about to graduate high school, are you trying to make them go to college?
I never.
I think they,
it was
like,
always
force-
optional for my kids.
Ours was like, no, you should definitely go to. Well, and
Same.
my family too. It's like, no, the only way you get a job is if you go to college.
Yeah.
Yeah, me not going to college would have been very unacceptable.
yeah. I mean,
My kids went well. So Joey really hated school, and I
Same.
just knew that he. Yeah, I mean, so he chose not to, and I kind of feel like it's their choice.
Yeah.
So what did he do instead?
It's their. Well, he works for the county of Santa Clara.
Mm-hmm.
He did construction with his dad. You know, but the thing is that there whatever. Basically, what I've explained to them is like whatever life path. So it's really hard in I'm all over the place right now. In California, it's very expensive.
Yeah.
So I've just tried to tell them if you really want to be successful and be able to live in this area, you're going to need to make a certain amount of money. So
That's just
if
a
you
fact.
choose,
Yeah.
it's just a fact. So if you choose not to go to school, the option is there for you. We want you to do that. We want you to have, to do that. But if you choose not to, it's their consequences that they're going to deal with.
I mean,
Yeah.
And maybe there are consequences or maybe there aren't, but that's their decision.
like for me, like if it wasn't for athletics, I don't know that system was for me. Look, I'm glad I had those 4 years to party and fucking figure out
I
turning
had a
into an
great
adult and
time.
live on my own and
Yeah.
do all those type of things. But man, I wish I would have learned to fucking weld or
yeah.
something like that.
For
right?
real.
Like, I mean, which I could still do. It's not like I can't go take classes now if I wanted to, but
Yeah.
I mean, that's a way better gig right now. Like talented general contractors or carpenters or plumbers or anything, like you work forever.
Right.
You'll never not have a job.
Yeah. So, I mean, so both and then my other son is an electrician. So they were just more trade oriented, which I think is fine. And I think it's so interesting. I remember, Kylie tells this story all the time. Senior year, because it's a long story, but all 3 of my older kids were all in the same grade. So for senior year, they all had to come at the very end of the year in like a sweatshirt of the school they were going to. And all the kids were like, we're just going to junior college, you know? But everyone, you know, it was like this big push of, it's almost strange because there's like a competitiveness with parents.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
especially where you
well,
live.
my kids, what are your kids doing? I'm like, well, they're going to junior college. I don't really know what they want to do. I mean, Kylie graduated with a 4.2, but was so stressed out about picking a college that she just went to Cabrillo. She went to junior college and then she transferred and then finished up, you know, at San Jose State. So to us, it was never, you know, you have to get in the best colleges and you to be successful.
Yeah.
And it matters what they want out of life too.
Yeah. I would have loved the opportunity to do like abroad for a year.
Oh, yeah.
I think that would have been such a crazy influence on me as a person at
Yes.
22 or like 21.
Yes.
But with athletics or whatever else, you know, I mean, or money.
I think with a lot of parents too, though, they're very worried if their kids are really going towards, you know, going to college, that if they take that year off and go abroad, or do you mean like go to
I
school
go study
abroad?
abroad.
Oh, study abroad. Yeah. Yeah. Because there's
not
some
a
people that
gap
like want
year.
to take the year
off.
off.
No fucking way
and
I ever
then
go back.
they'll never go back.
Nope.
That's
mean,
what I thought you were
would-
talking about. Okay.
I would probably have just stayed wherever I was.
Like, I'm not sure right now, like, what a possible employer would have to offer me money-wise to be like, we'd like you to go back and get your master's. I'm like, huh?
Whoa.
Not
Not
interested.
interested.
Right.
Can I retire the day I get my master's? So, like, is that the amount of money you're offering me? Because maybe I'll grind it out. Because I
Yeah.
don't even know if I want to.
No. I wish that I enjoyed. Okay, so even in high school, there was always, and I think it's just the way public schools are, but there was always such a stress. You know, everything is so based on like your test scores and I was a stressed student.
Okay.
Mostly, and I'm happy that my parents did this because I got good grades and I got into a great college and I was a dance major at the University of Utah. But everything was my grades were dependent on if I got to go and do my extracurriculars. So but at this point, like in high school, I was just dancing, but like full time. Every day, Monday through Saturday, right after school, I'd be there from, 4 till 10 p.m.
So this is where all the knee slides and everything developed.
Yes.
The what?
The knee slides.
Yes. Yes. And
That was her
Signature
minor.
move.
She had a minor. She did a
Minor in power slides?
So major
fucking
in
killer.
dance, minor in power slides.
I'm really good at power sliding. That's at the top of my resume, and that's pretty much it. But when my report cards would come out, if I had anything lower than, let's see, a B, and this happened because in 7th grade, I was taking algebra, and I love math. I really do. I enjoy doing it. I can sit and do math homework. I like it. I like to solve problems.
Well, it's black and white, too.
Yes, it's black and white. And so when it'd be frustrating for me is like if I couldn't figure out how to do something or start it, like that type of a problem. But the second I understood it, like if I had the right teacher, I would love doing it. And I ended up with I was like a C+ student in my math class in 7th grade. After that, my mom told me that at the end of every semester, if I had any grades lower than a B, I would be grounded from dance for a whole semester.
Yeah, that was the same rule that I had. Anything lower than a B, I was grounded.
So-
I didn't get kicked out of things, but I couldn't, hang out.
Yeah. No, mine was like you wouldn't be able to go to dance. And that was like my livelihood. So what would happen is even like the start of school, like first day, they give you the syllabus. I'd be in like English class and we're going through the syllabus and they would say, okay, like the end of the semester, you have like a 10-page paper. I'm sitting there day one and I'm already sweating, like stressed, like I'm not going to get
I'm
it done.
sweating just thinking about
Yeah.
that.
Oh, man.
Yes, like I couldn't do that.
And then it gets closer to the end, and I'm like frantically just trying to. So I basically learned scared a little bit.
Whoa.
And so I would like crunch time. I would cram. What do they call it? Cram. I would cram for tests, which honestly it's a great way to remember shit.
This
to
is
get,
how I
to-
did everything.
To test and do well.
Yeah.
But I feel like the way I was learning, which I wouldn't have known this is what was happening, it was just going in my brain, and then I'd let go of it.
Yep.
And create space for whatever else I had to figure
But
out.
that's the education system.
Yeah.
That is.
Pushes that. Mm-hmm. I mean, because if that's not what we wanted, we would have conversations. We would have discussions about things and have people actually understand why this matters instead of like, that's the rule, do it.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, because I wish that if there wasn't so much stress put on your test score or like just your grade, because it's like an all or nothing type mentality. Like, we just care about your grade. You get through the class, we just need your grades.
I just didn't want to have to take that
Yes.
class again.
Yes.
Right,
That's
yeah.
all I gave a shit
Yeah.
about.
But so I never really learned because I was interested or developed an interest in maybe certain things because
Now, did you
I was
have
way
any
more stressed
classes
about
in
anything
college
else.
that were like, holy shit, this is great, like an elective that you loved?
Well, I jumped right into my major classes, so I had a full schedule of dance classes, and they weren't all dance. It was like theory, kinesiology. I loved kinesiology. In fact, I did a year of that at college, and I thought that's what I wanted to go into when I wasn't going to be a dance major anymore.
Yep.
So it's like that's what I wanted to do. I really loved math. I was really interested in minoring in math because I already had my major. So I was like, oh, I think I want to minor in math.
Double minor in knee slides.
Yes, I'll have two
Double
two
minor,
minors.
2 minors.
Yeah, I got a general studies degree, which at LSU is like 3 minors.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't pass a foreign language to fucking save my life. But luckily, athletics somehow pulled some string and determined I have a learning disability and couldn't learn foreign languages. And so they pulled them off of my fucking degree.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Well, and that's like that like what you were saying about your parents, like making you have like certain grades. I agree with that in a certain situation.
Yes.
But then there are kids, like one of my sons has learning issues. So for him, we would have, it was all based on how much effort he was putting in.
Yeah, my parents held a different standard
Yeah.
for me and my brother. He was smarter.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
They were aware that Andy was going to go to college and
Or-
probably
yeah.
become a lawyer, and
Right.
things were going well. And like they're like,
Yeah.
some Matt.
What do we do with this
Here's
one?
some rocks.
Well, and sometimes
Throw them real far.
Well, no, and that is funny, but sometimes it's not about being smarter. It's just for the way that education is done. Some people thrive in that.
Well,
In that
Not me so
environment,
much.
and then there's some others that just don't. And
Well, it's
so
like, and that's what the issue. That's I think what the issue is with you're not having a system set up for teachers to maybe be more like
Interactive.
know how to spot kids that need a little bit different help
Yeah.
or a little more help because and teachers are underpaid. So they're
Right.
underpaid. They're stuck in this system. They come to work, and it's like, why would they put in more time? And everyone deals with their own stresses
Well,
too.
and they
so like,
also are
Hey,
heavily
you were a teacher. Do you-
involved with inclusion. And do you know how hard it is to have your super high level, high thinking kids with your middle ground kids and then your lowest kids and then your ESL kids and then you're supposed to somehow
we coach to the middle.
yeah, and you're supposed to somehow like
you're
get all of them on the
supposed to
same page.
somehow get them all on the same page in however many time, and you also have 30 some kids, and it's just one of you.
Right.
It's
Fucking
impossible.
Right.
I honestly, the education system as a teacher myself, it's terrible.
Well,
Yeah.
that's one of those
Absolutely
things that, like,
terrible.
in the past year, right, with whether it's the defund the police or any of this other type of thing, I wish as a country we could say, well, do we value education? Because if we do, let's figure out how to pay fucking teachers. So that, I mean, if a standard teacher salary right now is $100,000, the quality of person who would apply for that job changes.
Oh,
Right.
dramatically.
dramatically.
And so,
I mean,
what does that affect our country?
$36,000.
Right.
Yeah. What does that affect our country if we start fixing things at that level with quality educators?
Yep.
Right? Like that's, here's a really good one we could do.
Right.
Or let's just admit we don't fucking care. Let's stop pretending education's
Right.
important to us.
Right.
Yeah.
Or let's do a thing.
Right.
Yep.
You don't get both. You can't be in the middle there. Yeah, the system, I realized like probably in the last year or two that I'm really shit at reading.
Same.
I mean, like I
Is
can,
it reading or comprehending?
it's reading. Because like, especially if I'm just trying to read for
To
like
stay
leisure
focused or
or a book
I
that I want
can't-
information
I
from.
can't.
I can't stay focused. I actually.
I
as
have
too
got-
ADD.
narcolepsy.
Oh yeah. As I got older, like when I was in college and even after, I started to realize things that were difficult for me in school, all growing up. But I would have never known that maybe there was something that.
Well, you don't know that other people don't operate that way.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, for me, like, I read the first sentence of a paragraph and I'm like, got it, and read the last sentence and I'm like, fuck, I don't know anything that's going on. So
Right.
then I'm back to the second sentence. I'm like, all right, now I got it. Nope. Instead, why wouldn't we just fucking read linear, stupid brain? And so,
I like fall asleep instantly,
Yeah.
and I also like I'll start reading, and even if I am actually staying awake, I'll get down to now I'm at sentence 6, and I already forgot what it was.
Yeah.
So then I have to I'm constantly like reading, reading,
Yeah.
and I keep going back and forth, and
So,
I never make it.
like,
to
now that I've
anything.
switched to audiobooks,
Can't
Way
do it.
better.
it's so
Way
much better
better.
because I can also do it on the treadmill. I can do if I can keep this thing busy, this can focus on
Yeah.
the
That's
information
why-
coming
That's
in.
why I
Yeah.
think I fall asleep. Like if you sit me down, like I fall asleep.
Right.
So
We're not needed. Fuck this.
Yeah. I'm gonna shut my body down.
Yeah.
I almost think that like speed reading is one thing that like really fucked me up because for a long time
Well, did you learn to do that?
we did in school.
No way.
Yes.
What
And
is speed reading?
just
Reading
reading
really
fast.
Really fast.
Well, what if you read slow?
Well, that's so the thing is like this is I'm assuming that this could be a reason, like one thing that has made reading very difficult for me. I can read and I'll read, but like if I sit down to read a
promise.
book, I can read, guys.
Guys, I promise.
What I notice that happens is if I do get myself to read it and like comprehend and enjoy it, I just can't read very long because I get tired and I get disinterested.
Yeah.
And so now it's like I don't have to. There's always this sense of I have to finish this. And so as I'm reading, I'm trying to like. It feels like it's too. There's too many pages. I want to read it, but then I'm like, fuck, I don't want to read it, and I'm racing to try and get to the end.
Yes, you're not enjoying it.
Yeah, or
really
I'm,
paying attention.
As I'm reading it, I'll end up reading the same sentence again and again.
Yeah.
Or as I'm reading it, I'm comprehending the words. I'm moving through it, maybe not even fast, but I'm recognizing the words. I'm saying them in my head, and I'm reading the words, and all of a sudden I get to the end, and I'm just like, I don't think I paid attention to anything. I
couldn't
think
tell you
all-
anything that happened on that
all I
page.
did was like
Read
recognize the
words.
words, recognize the words.
Yeah.
Like
Okay.
for me to study, like I had to just rewrite the book. Like it was like, oh, here's the important information. I would have to just rewrite it out.
That's what I did with notes.
Yeah,
For me,
like-
I used to take notes in class, and then I would go home, and my way of actually studying, besides cheating,
Besides cheating.
Besides cheating.
I would rewrite because I'm like super anal. Everything had to look perfect, so I would rewrite
My notebooks
everything,
were
and
fucking wrecked.
that was my studying. It was the only way I would study.
I liked flashcards a lot.
Flashcards.
I made
definitely worked.
flashcards.
That was far too
I did
lazy.
that in
That was a girl
anatomy.
thing.
Ooh.
That was a girl thing.
Flashcards are for ladies,
for the birds.
for birds.
Flashcards are for the birds.
No, I definitely utilize them. I had to take like high level anatomy classes, so I was in with like nurses and stuff, and we had to memorize every prefix and
Oh, yeah.
suffix, and there was thousands. Then yeah, flashcards all
Yeah.
day long.
Yeah, I loved flashcards.
And like I had a film class I took that really altered a lot of how I think, and that's probably my favorite class I took in college. It was this like history of film based in horror, and
Oh, that
I
sounds
fucking
cool.
loved it. And so like we had regular class, but then once a week we would meet in like one of the big auditorium classrooms that has like a projector screen. And so like the class would get out at 3, and then we would meet at 5 for the movie. So we'd all walk off campus to this bar and get shitty. And then order pizza to the classroom and like sit in there and all hang out and watch Dawn of the Dead or anything like that. And it was great.
Yeah,
That would
I
be
love
good.
that.
I took a class in college and it was called Taboo. I think it may have been something taboo, but all it was about was taboo words and like things in different societies and cultures that are like talking about how we give power to words.
Yeah.
So certain places it's like fuck, cunt, shit, all these things. It's like, well, it's like, why is it taboo to say it or
It's
use
a
it?
sound.
And it's different everywhere else. And it was a very fun class.
Yeah, it's a weird thing that people decide to let a sound control their emotions.
Right.
Like, get your shit a little tighter than that.
And it's understandable if like someone puts power to it and they say it directly at you.
There's
That's
a
a different
there's
thing.
a different thing in being attacked or being triggered.
Yes. A lot of people are triggered.
If
'Cause
you're
people
being
can
attacked,
be triggered if they're just in a
defend
room
yourself.
and no one says it to you. You just hear someone else say it and it's like, oh,
Can't believe he said cunt.
Man,
We've
it was-
already established
cunt.
we love the word
Some-
cunt.
some
That is
quote.
literally the best word.
We love the word cunt.
Yes.
I like twat.
Twat.
Twat. Fucking twat. Well, there's some quote I'd read recently. It was something like if you're in conflict with someone and they don't know, you're in conflict with yourself. And like that's the trigger thing. It's like I'm mad, but now we have a way to try to put it out there into the universe and get people on your side with social media thing. The problem is, while everyone has an opinion, they're not great.
No.
Just because you have one does not make it valuable.
But they really think it's valuable.
Right on.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. That's the problem.
Yeah. Well,
Especially extremely opinionated people.
we're not very good at filtering
No.
the valuable stuff.
No.
Especially because we like operating in a world that panics and likes fear and likes anger instead
That's
of
true.
just ignoring bullshit. I mean, we've taught the media that we react more to the negative stuff, and so that's what they give us.
Yeah, and we ignore the positive stuff because we're like, oh yeah, it's good. We're good.
Yeah, great.
Sounds great.
It's great.
Is there anything else shitty out there?
Hey, I really want to get my adrenaline
Man,
up.
the news
I
tonight was really boring.
want to feel a rush. Anything bad?
Yeah. Let's see something real shitty. All right, should we read another card?
Yeah.
Let's read another card.
All right.
Let's see what we got. All right. Within the next 200 years, do you think that most humans will become cyborgs?
Cyborgs?
Wait, how many years?
200.
200 years. Most humans will become cyborgs?
All right. Definition of cyborg.
Yeah, because I don't...
A person whose physical abilities are extended beyond normal limitations by computerized or mechanical elements built into the body.
Yes.
I think just rich people...
If we even
Rich-
make
no,
it
I
that
don't think
long.
all people will.
Well, I have a fake
Oh
knee.
yeah.
Yeah,
there's
just rich
I mean, does that
people.
count?
definitely.
I have a fused neck.
I
There's
mean, I don't
metal
have
in
any
there.
electronics, but I have mechanical advantage. It's not better
Yeah.
than a real knee, but it's way better than what my
Not-
shitty knee
yeah.
was.
But I feel like if it's going to make your performance better, then yeah, it's gonna be rich people. There's still gonna be like actual humans.
That's
out
like
there.
the Neuralink idea that
Yeah.
Elon's working on, like that whole
What?
thing. So, I mean, he's basically talking about what they're using it for. It'll be a chip that's implanted and has wires that go through the brain. And so, I mean, since your body runs off electrical impulses, right? It catches those electrical
saw this,
impulses
like a
and it
monkey.
feeds the chip.
Yeah.
And so the chip can do stuff. So essentially, it would be like putting your phone in your head instead of having to carry it.
I got a
No,
wedgie.
thank you.
Well,
I got a wedgie.
except, like, we're already cyborgs based on this, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Except the user interface is really shitty because it takes one of my hands and I have to touch it with another hand and then find a thing, it finds it, and then I have to read it.
Now you can just
Instead,
think it.
it just
what's
goes straight.
Netflix that.
Oh, Black Mirror.
I don't think
No,
it's
there's a
Black
new one.
Mirror.
No,
It's
there's
a
a new
different
one.
one where like they literally just see everything, like their computer screens, like already like in their eyeballs, and they'll go. You could go to a party. Let's say we're having a party here, and they like pick their theme, and everybody just switches to that thing, and then everybody's.
And then that's what they
in
see.
this-
Yeah, so
Scene.
that's the idea of the augmented reality.
like,
I
in a
forget what that was
simulation.
called.
They're in a simulation.
Dude, whoever's
Yeah,
running my
every-
simulation sucks.
So, man, I've had that thought, like, in the last couple of years
Simulation?
of, like, the simulation thing, and it doesn't make any difference if it is or not.
Did you watch that show?
Which one, Black Mirror?
The Netflix documentary about simulation. And
Yeah,
they're-
but we didn't finish it.
No, because we were like, we can't do it
We
anymore.
can't do
It's
this anymore.
mathematically, it's more feasible that this is a simulation than not. But it really depends on how you run simulation. Like if it's simulation, if we're looking at it like there's someone a level out playing a video game character,
Yeah.
I don't think it's that. But simulation would be, I mean, the way our eyesight interprets everything, like my perspective is different than yours. So there is a little bit that we're reading things different because, all right, so, since everything's made of atoms,
Yes.
then you have space within atoms, an empty void. So everything is just this collective group of atoms, whether it's oxygen with whatever that is, or our bodies with carbon and anything else, there should technically, at a small enough scale, be a place where you could just smooth pass through us and the air. It's all the same size. And so the simulation that we're getting is how we recognize those particles.
I mean, that's more.
I'm so
that's,
confused. I'm
that's
just,
more of
I'm
like,
just gonna say it. I'm confused.
That's more of something I could like be interested enough to dig deeper into.
Right.
I mean, I'm not going to,
No, that's
but
right.
I would. However, the thing that we watched, it really was more creating this idea that almost like
We're all being
like we've just been dropped into this like a game that someone's controlling.
Someone's controlling what we say
Yeah,
and what
yeah.
we do.
Yeah. So
Who we
for
become
so
friends
for
with.
Yeah.
Thanks. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I
whoever
mean
that was.
that's how I feel about it. Like I was sitting like very, very stoned in my basement with lights in a beanbag, and like I'm like, man, my basement looks like 13-year-old me built it on The Sims. Like whoever is one step out, I'm like, thanks, man. This rips. Let's just keep fucking doing this.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you're not like, we're gonna make him an accountant, and he's gonna have a 401k, and it's gonna be
Wears
great.
a suit.
Very
He's gonna wear-
safe. He'll probably retire by 65.
And at that time, he'll be wearing khakis and New
Polos.
Balance tennis shoes.
No, I'm so glad that like whoever's playing is just like, man, fuck it.
You
Yeah,
get
put that in
exactly
there.
what you want. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I can't really wrap my brain around that shit.
Well, it's not relevant whether or not it matters.
No,
It's
I mean, I'm just saying.
That's why I said I found it interesting, but I'm not going to research it. But if it came up in conversation and someone else knew more about it than I did, because I know nothing, so anyone who has any information on it, I'd be like, yeah, I'd love to tell me about it.
But even if I researched it, I wouldn't understand anything I was reading
Like
about
you
it.
lost me.
I'm just going to start doing this to you periodically, like trying to find the area on your body where I'm going to try to should be able to poke through you.
It's
What
my
are you doing?
butthole.
No.
It's my butthole.
It's my butthole.
Yeah, it's my
further,
butthole.
further along the simulation ideas,
Your butthole.
another one I get caught in is because we don't get to pick our body at all.
Yeah.
Like it's just fucking issued from jump.
Yeah.
I think about like how lucky I got to be in this one because
Right.
of like the athletic ability and the strength and all these things. That has shaped so much of who I am that if I had a non-athletic thing, there's no fucking chance the personality is anywhere near the same.
Yeah, no
So
way.
like the vehicle that you get to fucking ride around in your time here is wildly important.
I like my vehicle.
Dude,
I like your vehicle too.
Thanks. I like yours.
yeah, we all got
Thanks,
bitchin' avatars.
Yeah.
Gina, I like your vehicle too.
You're
Listen.
an awesome.
You're a long way from Stephen Hawking.
Well,
Oh,
and
hey, if you get offended easy, this show isn't for
As
you.
far as a physical being, no one's going to make an argument that that's a great one.
No,
He's
definitely
wildly
not.
intelligent. I would love to borrow some of that.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
Little
No,
brain.
you, Colby's the one that's closest
and
to
with that
Stephen
note,
Hawking.
and this one.
Just tall girl claws.
Yeah, hit it.
Yeah. Get that next.
Give
white
us another
Let's
card.
do
There we
another
go.
card. This is fun.
I feel like we'd be a pretty good group just to start another podcast.
Seriously.
I mean,
Just like the
Except that we
occasional
all live
podcast,
in
like
very
we just
different
post them,
areas.
but not on a schedule.
Yeah.
We just do a once a month
Yeah.
podcast. We'll meet up
all
somewhere.
right. If we don't,
Like
this
it.
is more AI stuff.
Oh, God.
Perfect.
If we don't know with 100% certainty what the consequences of developing highly intelligent AI will be,
Siri.
should we stop developing it right now till we fully understand the potential of the outcome?
I'm gonna say yes.
Yeah. Stop
I'm gonna
it.
say yes.
I've seen
Stop.
iRobot.
Ah, yeah.
Well, that's not like that's step one.
I've seen the
Well, I'm just
Terminator.
saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, Terminator.
Terminator.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
look,
but-
there's a group of scientists that think that's evolution. Is that our goal of being here in the meat suits is to create the next thing that
Meat
takes over
suit.
the planet that's so much more efficient than us.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I get the efficiency, but where do
mean-
all of
Yeah, but
our
do we need to all
jobs
be
go?
so efficient? I'm not that
I'm
efficient.
not
I
interested
feel like
in like
I'm
a
pretty cool.
robot overtaking.
Honestly, I'm interested in like a slightly slower life a little bit than where things are now.
Man, but I really do love all the inconvenience. Oh, sorry, convenience.
Convenience.
No, the convenience is nice. I think when you start having the conversation, like, is when you realize what things like social media and a lot of this type of stuff is doing to
People that haven't
yeah.
figured it out.
Literally, yes, kids
Like
growing
people,
up.
Yeah,
people
for
that freak
sure.
out about social media that don't do this for a living.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Just turn it off.
Turn it off.
Yeah.
Why give a
You
shit?
don't actually need it.
Yeah.
But the
Yeah.
problem is that you are all in an age group, myself included,
Yeah.
that didn't grow up with that. So I was saying earlier, even the difference between my older kids who are closer to Brooke's age, they weren't connected on their phones to the entire world from a young age.
Yeah.
And even then, I mean, we got them cell phones in middle school because they were walking to school.
Yeah.
And we just wanted to make sure that they were safe. But they couldn't go on the internet. They couldn't go on social media. Ruby, she's 10 years behind them. All those kids had phones some of them, Ruby didn't have a phone until she was in middle school also because she was, again, walking. But some kids were getting cell phones at 4th, 5th, 6th
Yeah.
grade.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
And then those kids that
Yo, and
had
I get the
it,
convenience of being a parent of like,
yeah,
Just
and then
knowing
those,
where they are.
right? And then those kids that had it, so even if your kid didn't have a cell phone, those kids would tell your kid about Snapchat or Instagram
Of course.
or whatever. So we told Ruby she couldn't have an Instagram. Well, you can even take their phones and,
And
do
they'll
it.
create-
And they
they'll
would
create
just,
it on
they
someone
would just
else's.
go on someone else's phone and go on it. So you have zero control, even when you're trying to be a really good parent and double checking what they're doing and
because Ruby was
limiting
being
their
the good parent, like saying
because
this
it's not
this
just
isn't
Ruby,
good,
it was
or is
all
it?
the
Oh no, I'm
kids.
saying that I remember if you took Ruby's phone away, but
Yeah.
then we all followed her on Instagram and she'd still be posting.
Yeah, and you guys would be like, no, and you guys would
what
be
the
like,
heck?
and she'd be at school,
She's
and
got a
I
proxy.
would take her phone, and then someone would be like, oh, Ruby just posted another picture, and I was like, what? How is she doing that? But because they can just
Smart.
connect into their account on another phone, a friend's phone. I can post something, and then that's the scary thing is this idea of these young, and we've talked about this before, young girls and boys are being basically. This has been shoved down their throats of all these very sexualized pictures to where they don't get. It's not them being bad. They don't get that they're too young to be doing it because it's so normal. It's like anything. You have a herd
and you
mentality.
and you want them to. You want them to be a kid.
Right.
Play
Yeah, I don't think
outside,
kids
try
anymore are
different
going to
things.
see
And
their
also
first porno mag in the woods like I did.
No.
Well, and
No.
also not try to develop themselves based on like who they see
who
on
they
the
are
internet.
or who they are
Like-
or who they want to be as
like,
people.
well,
It's all
I need to look like these
physical
girls.
yeah,
Everything is about the physical appearance.
yes.
Instead of just like building up who you are. And like, 'cause
Or all the-
that's
Yeah,
how like we
you
grew
can,
up. We
but
didn't
you can
have
still see that
anybody.
now that it doesn't have the sustainability that the other side does. That like if you have a thing to say, and that's something we've noticed with different people we've sponsored or this and that. Like, yo, that number being big of followers does not mean you sell things.
No.
Or
No,
that you can make a
100%,
living.
But kids think
I
that.
immediately
And
just
that's-
And they'll learn.
and they'll learn eventually, but the problem is what are they
you have kids
what is
like
forming them up until that point?
You have
That's
kids-
social acceptance.
Yeah.
When they're at
That's
such
all
a
it is.
such a pivotal
that and going
age.
viral. The
Yeah.
amount
Right.
of kids like in high school, because my being home more, and I have lots of nieces and nephews. It's like all of them. No one wants to go to college. I'm not against that, but all they want is to become famous.
They wanna be
Every
TikTok
kid
star.
wants to be
They
a
want to be
TikTok
an
famous.
influencer
With
or a
that said,
TikToker.
I fucking get it.
Oh yeah.
Sure.
What I get to do for a living, and I'm fucking a long way from famous.
Oh, yeah.
Is ridiculous.
It's just.
But you've also grown a company. Like that's the
but
problem.
we
that
talked about it
people-
on the boat, right?
Yeah.
That like it's an interesting thing because our generation didn't have it, and then it did. Like we're the last people that will stumble into this life,
Right.
Yeah.
And that's one of the interesting things about us, that it's genuine because we never set out to do this. We set out to be good at a thing,
Right.
and then this somehow followed it.
It just kind of happened.
Because we all shared personality with
Right.
it instead of just here's what the accomplishments are.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I know a shit ton better athletes than me that can't put together that side of it.
Right.
You know what it is too? I think that I don't really like people that are so obsessed with themselves. Like I just don't. They're not very likable. Majority of the ones I meet, and they have. If I want to talk about like someone on social media, just everything about how fancy or how are they being. They may not have a bunch of money, but they take pictures to look like they have a
Next
bunch of
to
money.
Lambos.
It's
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
about that. And so then for
Taking
me,
a photo with like a rental car
Right.
so
Or like
annoying.
those people that are taking pictures in planes. They have like
Oh, yeah.
fake planes set up so they can
Yeah.
they can get a picture of looking
Off
like
to
they're
Paris.
jet setting.
Yeah, I-
like they're jet setting around.
I've rented some
But it's
fun
like a
cars in places, and I
simulated-
will never
Yeah.
take
It's just-
a photo next
so
to
it's
it
like,
like,
yeah,
that's mine.
like, that's mine.
So it's like, for me, it's like you have like these kids in high school or middle school growing up, and it's like, don't already become that person. Like you know, like keep being someone that like more people will enjoy, because you're not so obsessed with yourself. So starting out so young.
Yeah.
It's like you can do that, and I think it's very cool that, you know, kids want to be famous and they want to be TikTokers and they want to go viral. That's the thing. I want to go viral. It's like, well, do it then, but also like just try other stuff too. Like don't put yourself in a box and like this is the only thing you're going to do,
Well,
so
and-
you give up on any other possibility.
Right. Well, and some of them have. I mean, there are some kids who have created something and they're
tons.
yeah, but it's so saturated.
Oh, it's going to change.
Well, but the
It won't be that-
opportunity
it won't be
is
that-
still the opportunity to do it is still crazy that it exists this way. I mean, you can still like the opportunity to be famous now is totally different than it was when we were kids.
Oh, yeah.
Like that's not a thing that was gonna happen. Like that, like, oh, you get on a bus and go to LA and try to be a waiter for fucking
Right.
20 years
Right.
is how you got famous
Yeah.
when I was a kid.
Right.
Now it's fucking good job.
Yeah. Now it's
Well,
taking
now it's like people are famous
videos of yourself doing
Just
stupid
because
ass
they're
dances.
and being assholes.
Yeah.
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 No
It's
doubt.
like
to
the
be-
no
you had to
talent.
do
It
a
takes
thing.
no talent. It just takes creativity and
Well,
not
and
giving.
good looks.
But the
And
problem,
good looks.
so the
And good
problem I
looks,
have with
yeah.
that, right? Like, so I consider that idea the way I think about Nickelback. Like,
Nickelback,
hold on.
dude. Yeah, bring it. Do it.
Yeah.
I'm not mad that 5 dudes got together to play music and became wildly famous and rich.
Okay.
I'm sad there's a market for shitty music.
Yes,
Yep.
100%.
I don't care that someone who's doing these videos is making a living, because fucking good on
Right.
them.
Yeah.
No.
I hate the fact that we like it.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's what I mean.
Yeah.
It's like,
That
and
way
you
you enjoy
can't,
it.
and it just keeps happening.
Well, like
Yeah.
the number of people that look at their phone and are mad, like have to turn off Instagram because it stresses them out. It feeds you what you want.
Right.
It
There's
doesn't
an
have an
algorithm.
opinion or a goal.
Right. Yeah.
Like the things that you slow down on or comment more on or touch, it's like, well, they love that. Why
sometimes
else would
send them more of
why
that.
else would they stop on
Yeah,
those
right.
things,
For
right?
me,
Like,
it's because sometimes I couldn't see it,
right.
and you can't zoom in. We've tried that. You have to touch it, then zoom in. You gotta
no
touch
way.
it first. You gotta touch it first, like with a lot of things. Yeah. What would frustrate me so much was like when Jake Paul, like Logan Paul. I now like what Logan's doing a lot more, and I don't really know him. Definitely don't know him, but like whatever. But it drove me absolutely crazy for them, not really him, but his brother, like just leaning into the persona of a fucking asshole, like ruining houses, creating like just havoc everywhere he goes, because you can. It's like, what would you do for a view?
Right.
But
Yeah.
look at
And
the
it
attraction
sells.
in our generation, right? Like, what's the difference in that and the stories that we heard about Axl Rose trash in a hotel room? Is these
No,
fucking-
absolutely.
right. It's the same thing,
Right.
but now we actually get to see it. It's not a fucking rumor.
Right.
But it
Or
was
what is it?
Axl
Or
Rose.
What was it?
Sure.
Jackass?
Axl Rose.
Sure.
What wasn't it like
But
Jackass?
I mean, I think
Yeah,
it's a
kinda like
little.
the
I
same
think it's a
thing.
little arguable which one may be more popular at this point.
Oh, no,
like,
I'm not
at this
talking about
point.
popularity.
No,
I'm
I mean,
just
our
like,
society's been fucked up for a while.
Yeah.
I mean, like the fact that we were watching, I can't remember a Jackass episode because I never really watched it, but my kids did, and they'd be like, oh, so and so put a garden hose up his ass and turned it on. And it's like, why are you watching that?
Because it's funny.
It was,
it was funny.
Yeah.
It was
I
funny.
wouldn't
Watch it.
Okay, I would say
3 out of 4 people believe
crazy.
But I
Jackass
love
is
horror
incredible.
movies.
I
So,
love,
I mean,
I do love Jackass. It's funny.
Yep.
And they would do it, majority of the time. You didn't see them doing it in like a neighborhood,
No.
tearing, like running down the
Like, actually,
streets.
see, I don't
Like,
know enough about it.
I mean, we all knew this wasn't a great long-term business
No,
plan for these guys, and so let's just enjoy the insanity of
Yeah.
what they're doing.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I just wish that I could just be an asshole with lots of money. Is that what we should do?
That will be our new.
I'm gonna have to
that our new
get
thing?
the
New
money
thing.
part,
Is that our new thing?
because
We
now
just-
then I'd just be an
Yeah,
asshole.
I was like, I need some money. I know, I need some money because I'm just going to be an asshole. You and me both, Matt. We're just assholes.
I live a moderate lifestyle and I'm mean to people.
I'm actually a poor asshole.
I'm like a, above average asshole.
Right.
Asshole forward.
Oh my god.
All right, another
All right,
card?
one
Another
more
card?
question.
All right.
One more.
Let's do another one.
You hear a news story about 2 people stranded on a desert island
Okay.
or a desert island. One person survived by hiding their food
which one is
from
it?
the other person.
Wait, hold
Let me
on.
say.
right,
Sorry.
sorry.
I know.
Go
Wait.
back.
Okay. Start
I
again.
was thinking of dessert.
Yeah, I know. Me too. I was like,
Leave me alone, I'm
I was
starving.
imagining
What
like
kind?
just
What
a
kind
buffet
of
of
dessert?
desserts.
Like
Okay.
a cheesecake island.
Or like Hook when they just imagine the desserts.
Yes.
Crazy.
Oh. All right, go.
All right. 2 people stranded on a desert island.
Okay.
One person survived by hiding their food from the other person, which allowed them to hold out long enough to be rescued. The other person unfortunately died of starvation. Do you think the survivor was selfish, or do you think they simply did what they had in order to survive?
It depends on who you're with.
Yeah. If it was a stranger,
If it was a stranger, I for sure would hoard food.
yeah.
I think it would really depend on how much they were trying to work together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, are they pulling their own weight and like
Great,
we're
Matt.
a
Now I
team
look
to
like an
survive
asshole.
this, or are they just like, I don't know what to do, and I'm like, fuck you,
Wow.
man.
I'm going to go search for food. And if you don't come and help me, I'm just going to keep it to
Yep.
myself.
Yeah, but see, I would be that person that was like, there's nothing I can do.
And you're lucky.
So I would for sure steal
Yeah,
all
but
the
you
food.
would come and help.
Meanwhile,
No, I
every
would- of
once in a
course I
while,
would.
I
we would,
pass
I'm
by,
joking.
like,
we would
salt
go
them.
and hunt it
I'm
and
like, yeah,
gather
just
it,
keep
and then
hanging
you would
out. I'll
fucking,
eat you
you'd
next.
plan it out. You'd create a schedule. You
I
know
would.
exactly how much we could have. So you do play a huge role.
I would.
You
You're
would
right.
do that.
No, you're right.
We would hunt it. We would find it.
Yeah.
We'd bring it back, and you'd like, okay. You'd do the quick math. You'd put it out. You'd be like,
I'd prepare
we can
it.
have this much today. We can have
You
this
can
much
have this much,
tomorrow.
this
This is
much,
all
this
we
much.
get.
Yes.
This is how we survive. We'd be like, okay, Gina. Okay,
Yes.
Gina. I
Yeah.
will follow
Yeah, I don't
you.
know. That's really tough.
Yeah.
I mean, because I feel like there's just so many different factors.
Yeah,
that
what
could-
if it was
that
a
could go
person
into it.
that like you're sharing, right? But they don't really help a lot. Maybe they help a little bit, but they're hungry and
Well,
they overeat.
We're gonna have to drop a little weight. in
Yeah.
that
Eater.
scenario.
Yes.
Like, you're not coming off of this island like in a surplus.
What is it like what if you can't control? Like that's the issue.
Well, then
It's
I
like,
have to
holy
beat him to
shit,
death
like,
with a rock.
like Tommy, you're eating way too much, and they're just like, oh, you know what? I'm a stress. When I'm stressed, I eat.
Here, I feel that here's
I'm a night snacker.
if
I'm sorry. Just will you hide it from me at night?
bury it in the sand.
Yeah,
if-
it depends on the person.
Yeah. Oof. That's tough.
Yeah, I think like if we were trying to work together, like I think I could be willing to like, all right, we're gonna do this thing. But if as soon as you weren't helpful, nah, fuck it.
Yeah. Every man for themselves.
Yeah.
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 Because
For sure.
if we can both survive, I'm super fucking into it. But
Yeah.
if one of us is gonna go, it's probably not gonna be me.
It's probably not gonna be me.
So it's up to you, my friend. Either you can die of starvation or I have to beat you to death with a rock. These are your choices. Or join and be part of this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do your part.
We'll Swiss Family Robinson this whole thing out and I could be sick. We'll never leave.
Dude, great movie.
Big pirates.
Swiss Family
So great.
Robinson.
Man, I watched I got way too stoned to watch Bed Knobs and Broomsticks.
Ooh,
Oh, I haven't watched
take me.
that.
that is
one
a good one.
Is bonkers.
Oh, for sure.
Because there's this deal with like the Nazis, and then they go to this other place with cartoon animals and
Yeah,
play like
play
that big
soccer.
soccer game with the king and all
Yeah,
of his
they
rings.
go
that Tiger King.
underwater.
Which 100% somebody was on drugs when they even came up with that
It's a
concept.
pretty good chance.
I feel
Most
like
of
very good
Disney.
chance.
I feel like the
It's
next
so
time I
very-
watch that, gonna need to be high for that.
Yeah.
And that makes me
Yeah.
want to watch it again, the way you
Kinda
just
wanna watch
explained
it
it.
tonight.
Yeah.
I watched
Let's
Bed Knobs
do
and
it.
Broomsticks.
Because honestly, as a kid, that was my least favorite.
It's like Mary Andrews, isn't it?
What?
Is it Mary Andrews? Is the same one who did Bed Knobs and Broomsticks, and she's like
Oh, I have no idea.
that lady with the
Oh, Mary Poppins?
Mary Poppins.
Yeah, I think it is.
See, I loved Mary Poppins, but I remember watching Bed
Knobs.
Bed Knobs and
Right.
Broomsticks.
That was a different channel.
Well, like fucking
Bed
Dick
Knobs and
Clark's in
Broomsticks,
it,
and I was
has
like-
that big gnarly dance scene.
Who?
Dick Clark, he dances with all the penguins.
Oh yeah.
There
I'm
was
gonna have
always
to read
there were
this.
always
It's been a long-
there were
yeah.
parts of that movie that like, weren't my favorite.
No.
But there were a lot of parts that I was like, yeah, I'm into
Yeah,
this
as soon as the
part.
cartoons show up, I'm
Underwater,
super in.
The fish? I'm like, yes. You just get on the bed, it's like, all right, and they like twist the knob. Here we go.
The
So
magic
awesome.
bed.
So awesome.
Oh,
So
man.
much room, like way more people can go.
Yeah.
You know, climb on. Anyone who fits. We're going somewhere to a soccer game in a cartoon land.
In a cartoon land. Oh man, all these 2D creatures running around you like everyone's so flat.
Oh my god.
You have to look at them from over there.
Oh, yeah.
It's very important. Yeah, the old Disney stuff, like with all of like the weird, like there was weird stuff in the Lion King and Aladdin and
Every
the Little Mermaid with
had
the
Dick
boner.
Castle.
Oh, yeah.
It was
Yeah,
like
on
made
the
of
cover.
Had, yeah. It has,
Shrek,
like, a giant
is it
dick.
Shrek when the I think it was Shrek, the king gets a boner?
Oh, that's
Was it Shrek?
No, it's a Little Mermaid.
Oh,
It's
it
at the
is-
wedding
It is the Little
scene.
Mermaid. That's true.
Yeah, I know my cartoon boners.
Or
I think it was like
dude, I remember the
Like,
first
wait, there's
time.
boners?
it's at 46
Yeah,
minutes
it
and
is.
17
almost.
seconds.
I'm pretty sure it's like every Disney movie
Yeah.
has like something
Something
like
Subli- in there.
subliminal
Like,
messaging.
subliminal,
Dude, I
like-
remember when I was watching the Aladdin when I was little, and there's a part where Jasmine, when Aladdin's floating up to the side and she's inside, and you hear him say, "Take off your clothes."
yeah, there's
And
this
I remember
you
whisper.
Have,
Yes,
you
and
have
I
to-
remember-
he
It's
whispers.
fucking
whispers
dead
it.
clear.
And I remember watching it, being like,
What did you say?
What do you say?
"What did he say?"
Yeah,
and I
you
listened
have
again, and
to,
I was like,
really listen.
"What? I didn't know."
It's like Disney clipping in penises like Brad Pitt
Yes.
in Fight Club. It's basically the same thing.
Yeah.
It's like no one's quite sure of what
I'm
they
blown
saw, but
away
they all
right
know
now.
they saw something. Just some kid crying in
Dude,
the
there's
audience.
so many of them. There's so many.
Huh. Never knew.
Disney's an interesting, that whole thing and building that thing. And Walt Disney was a maniac.
Has to be.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah. Now that you look back, at the time, I mean, I don't know. You just blew my mind with the penises. So.
I'm
Yeah.
surprised you don't know about any of these.
I'm gonna
There's one
find
in
the
like
cover
everything.
for you.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
Like there's like a penis like on the castle.
Yeah, just one of the castles is shaped like a hog.
Yeah.
For sure.
Oh my god. Okay.
Classic hog.
Well,
We gotta
we
finish
gotta
this
go
up.
because we
All right,
leave
let's
in
wrap
like
it.
an hour.
Oh
We're
yeah.
also like at an hour 15.
Hey, we did it.
What a
Okay,
great
guys.
podcast.
First of all, thank you so much, Matt and Dana,
Yes,
for being here.
I do
We
think
appreciate
that
you
I do
guys so
think that
much.
we should do a podcast once
Yeah.
a month.
Monthly podcast.
Where do we meet? Just somewhere?
Anywhere.
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 We just
Fly.
fly somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In our wingsuit.
Wings.
No, we got to get everyone to St. Louis. I would love to have you guys.
I know,
all come out
we're gonna come
and do
out.
the-
We're gonna
let's
come
look,
out.
let's look at like
We're gonna-
September.
Yeah.
Once
Yeah,
it cools
we can
down
do
and
that
my
for
gym's
sure.
not a disaster.
Okay. Into it.
Yeah, that'd be super fun.
I want to go into your 13-year-old
Basement?
Basement.
Fuck
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, you should.
have
come.
ghosts?
It'd be super fun. No ghosts.
We'll find some.
No,
We'll find some
we
I
want,
mean-
we like ghosts.
Oh no, we like ghosts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any cool cemeteries?
Ooh,
In St.
cemetery
Louis,
tour.
probably.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know if there's a cemetery tour. We can figure
Okay.
something out. There is
Okay.
ghost tours.
I mean, if you could find any ghosts before we
We do a
come, that'd be
ghost
great.
tour. We do
I
a
mean, we
ghost
went
tour.
Trying
to-
to wrangle a couple before you.
We
Yeah.
went to the like Limp Mansion and did like a ghost tour, and the guy there was like from the St. Louis Paranormal Department.
Oh.
And now I'm like, I need to know more about you and what you do that isn't here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you go out and like do stuff? And he was like, yeah, like we have.
Dude, you
things
should have
and-
them on your
I want to.
podcast. Yeah.
Okay, we'd like to do that.
Yeah.
Let me see what I can figure out.
Yeah.
I'll give
Okay.
it a go.
Yeah.
All right, we're into it.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for listening. Remember to
Rate, review, subscribe, 5-star rating, 5-star warning, and we'll talk to you
next
next
week.
week.
Bye.
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 Bye.